Okay, so this is an angel. So somebody's going to prune the other angel later on. So, really speaking,
is that supposed to be a dwarf?
Yes, it is.
I thought I've got moonlight now. Yeah.
I put a row in the garden. Those who come up to Clare would have seen my angels that I put in the ground. They actually grow beautiful bushes in your garden. They grow about that high and round. They're actually beautiful. They really do grow, but this has been, you know, sort of growing, fertiliser's been there and all sorts of things. So you got to work out how much I'm going to prune off, and I usually say you leave a third, okay? So you sort of guess what a third is, and you cut above a node. You leave the node, all right? You cut above a node. So you just go around, sort of try and keep it at the same level. It really doesn't matter how long this is, that's what you take your cuttings from. This is what I do, okay? So this just gets cut off, these little ones. You shape it up. And that's how you prune your angel, but it needs to be in a bigger pot, okay? That's called moonlight.
Yeah.
Charme Moonlight,
Yeah.
is its name. Now the Regal, I've left the good one for somebody else to prune, all right? Now these are just my 6-inch pots that I was selling in October. Okay?
Oh my God. Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, so if you look at the pot here, see this one here, this limb is coming sort of out like that. So to show you the bush, that comes straight off, right? So then you can start here, and I always count up 3 to 4 nodes, right? So there's one node, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you cut. And now you remember, you've got to leave the node, okay? It's got to stay there. So that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's right up here where it's joined together. But that will grow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 4 chances of it shooting, right? That's the whole idea. That one there is snipped off. And the flower, you never take a cutting from, even though it's got a little tiny thing you can take a cutting, it never makes a good plant, ever. So even if you cut that much off, it's a pruning. You clean the plant up. That's a flower stem. Cut it out. The flower stem is no good. And sometimes I'll get a little plant, you know, a thing like that on it, but it's always weak. It's never strong. So it looks different, doesn't it? And that is what I cut off.
So Joyce, that big piece that you took off that had a little flower on it, you discard all of that cutting?
Oh no. Cutting? Alright, now I do all my Regal cuttings, these Regal cuttings, I do them in straight potting mix, no fertiliser whatsoever. Okay, and I like to do a nice size cutting. You got to make sure you cut that at the right space, because that little thing there has got to be right at the bottom, because that's where your root's going to come from. All right, and I do 1 cutting per pot, like that. So then you water it in, and that is a good cutting. That grows into it, as you see my plants most times. That's a good cutting, and then you've got a plant. Once it's taken roots, it doesn't take to make long to make a very good plant. And the idea is this: I've worked, I experimented so many things. What happens is, in about 3 weeks' time, you don't look at it, you don't touch it, all you do is water it, okay? In 3 weeks' time, you don't pull it up, you turn your pot. This is not going to happen because it's fresh. I don't think I better make a sandcastle in my hand.
Whoa.
Wonderful. And if it's got roots, you will see the roots because they are white. All right, and if it's got a root, if it's only just seeing a little tiny root, it's not quite ready to plant it. All right, but when you can see roots, quite a lot of roots, then you plant it. But you plant it and don't disturb this. I plant that into the pot. I don't disturb the roots, and they just take off. So I don't. That's why I do it in potting mix. It's one of the things that I experimented with, and it works wonderful with these guys. With these guys here, so that's got a flower thing on it. That flower stem is absolutely useless. It's really no good at all. But you do it about the same size cutting. You have to be very careful that you keep that node right at the bottom. Don't leave too much. It's very, very level, right? You need sharp snips. All right, and I do these cuttings in sand.
Is it a flower?
And you can
and
put
a bud?
Hmm?
Is it a flower it's rejected, but is it a bud? Is it rejected as well?
Yeah, that's a flower. A bud is a flower,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to become a flower.
Yeah.
So that's rejected to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't use them.
Is there a reason why?
They're always weak. They don't make strong cuttings. Not
Because all the energy goes to the flowers, even though it's cut and not to the roots?
Yeah, and you'll always find, like that flower stem, that one there, see, it's a lot thinner. This is a nice thick stem. Against that, that's the same stem that I took the cutting from that cutting. What's the difference? That's a heck of a lot weaker than that one. This has got strength in it. That's got no strength in it. 9 times out of 10 it will die anyway. Yeah, so you can't, it just doesn't work. And I've tried, I can tell you. I tried lots and lots of things, learning. And I worked out the potting mix one with no fertiliser. And that's I don't have, I get 99% of mine to go. So it's pretty good.
What was that, Joyce? What was in the potting mix?
That's just straight potting mix.
No, what plant?
Oh, it's a Regal.
Regals. Regals in potting mix.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And that one is called, it's a Bell K.
Okay.
And that's after K. Yeah.
Yeah, K Barrett.
K Barrett. Yeah. So that's one of the
that's a
bells.
lovely one.
Yeah.
Fine notice.
All right. So now, if there's any new members that's never taken a cutting before, does anybody like to try it?
Please volunteer. Go on.
I'm going to hang on to this one. That one's the Angel, this is the Regal.
I'll have a go, Joyce, on rubbish cuttings.
Okay, Joe.
Which one do you want to prune? The hard one? Yeah,
that
the
one.
hard one. Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Now, it's
3 to 4
here.
nodes up.
Yep.
So what about this fellow? It's going off at an
You
odd
probably
angle.
cut him off.
Cut him off here.
Yep. You don't leave anything.
Yep.
All right. So now look, he's lighter already.
3 to 4 nodes. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but that's too high. You was above
1,
the,
2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Is
but
there
you
one?
was going to cut it above the node. You got to cut it close to the node, but
Close
above
to-
it.
But above it.
Very, no, you're halfway.
There then.
No, that's right on it.
There then.
Yeah, how's that? There, you didn't realise, did you? Okay, you still got to have the thing left there.
Yeah.
But you don't leave to very much.
Alrighty.
See, it's got to be level.
Okay. 3 to 4 nodes. So we've got a double branch here.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so you do that one first.
All right. So count this one or
No,
not
from there.
from here.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. And above, close as you can get.
I'm going to have to include this fellow.
No, he goes in the. You can cut in the middle.
Okay.
See? Easy.
All right.
Now do the other one.
All right. Okay.
Well done, good.
Oh, doing all right. See, they're reasonably level. It's good.
2, 3, 4.
Up a bit. Next one up, because it's not level with these.
Yep.
Like you want it.
Yep.
So okay, so you have to go an extra one,
yeah.
but that keeps the shape.
This bit here. Don't worry about that.
That's just the leaf.
That's just right. There's no buds on any of these.
No buds on any of them.
So you could take down to maybe here.
Okay, so what you do is you approximately that one
Yep.
below the node this
Below
time.
the node. Yep.
Close as you can get. Too close. Yep. All right. So then that comes off. And you see you got one there and one there. A chance to grow. See,
Righto.
that's what you need. See that little thing there?
Yep.
That's where your root's going to come from.
So about
Your
like
root's
this
not going
length.
to come from here. It's going to come from there.
About then that length.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Beautiful.
right. There you go.
Thanks.
Okay, who's going to have a go at the angel? The easy one.
Member here.
Oh, new member. Excellent. Oh, got to have.
How embarrassing.
No, it's not.
Can't get out of it now.
What do I have to do? That's the same, 4 up.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to hold the plant, but we need.
So where are the nodes anyway?
All right. See these little things here. Forget that dark bit. All right. Just that 1, 2, 3, 4. So you cut sort of in between those two there.
Just above there.
And you've got to be nice and that's it. Look at that. And now that's at that level, so they've
And
all
just
sort
top.
of as long as it's above a node and close. You
Yeah.
do that one up there. It's too low.
Yeah?
Yep. That's halfway up. See, there's the node down there. No, the
I'm
level.
looking at that.
Yeah, but above it, just a little tiny bit above it. It's got to be really on top of it. Yeah, perfect. Up here,
And
that one. See, after a while, you don't even count it. You sort of, that's the
Just
level, and
level.
you go around.
So there,
Let me have a look at that.
because it's 2 there.
Yeah, I know.
branching.
Yeah, we'll just cut it off. That's too
The
much.
whole thing?
Yeah.
And chop it through
No,
there.
not all, no, just that little thing.
Oh,
Just that little bit, and cut it. Cut that one there, and that one. That's a flower stem. That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's got a flower
yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
All right. So no, you cut it up here, there, and cut that one there. Just cut a little bit off. Yeah. See, now it's the same level. So you got to go by the level of the thing as well.
Right.
So you can't have one up here, one down there.
No. So that's a bit high. So there.
It is. All right, so that one's there. After a while, you look at the level and
And you
you
can
know
just
where
see.
you know where to cut it.
There.
See, that's where it's already shooting. See, it's already shooting to get to another node
Oh, yeah.
in.
So
That
here.
one there, and that's a flower stem. I can get it out. See, that's a flower stem.
Oh, yeah. about here where the new
Oh,
one's
he's,
growing.
no, look, see what one we're up here somewhere. Oh, he's in
Yeah.
yeah. Excellent. You're doing all right.
I just think it's cruelty.
What you got to remember is getting close
To the,
to the node. It's called a node. That's the flower stem.
Very square millimetre
You do that one up there.
instructions.
Right, two to go.
Millimetre cube is got the instructions.
here or there?
It's all in the system, isn't
Yeah,
it?
do it there. This one's a bit high. Yep, excellent. Now this one actually is a little bit high, and I would actually cut that one out altogether because there's too much there. All right, and I've just come down a node. That's all you needed to do. There you go. So pretty well.
It looks good.
Now we should take that home.
Oh, so what is it? Has it got a name
It's
in
got
there?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a name.
Oh,
in it.
thank you. But whenever I get cuttings to grow, I always pick the one with the flower on it, so I know what I've got in the pot.
Please. Okay. Thank you very much, Jamie member, and to Joyce.
Can I just ask Joyce a question?
Yes.
Joyce, if you were to just pot up one of those big plants and not prune it, what happens? You can't, with a regal, you cannot prune into old wood, all right? So all this down here was what I was selling in October, right? This is all new growth, which has just come in the last couple of months, right? So this here becomes old wood, and all these flowers, all these leaves come off like this. All right, so you end up with a brown stem. You can see it's already changing colour to there, right? Now, once that's like that, that's it, all right? Then if you do the same thing again, that becomes that long, and then it becomes that long and that long, and you end up with a little bit of green on the end.
So what do you do with that, Joyce? Take cuttings and pull the plant out?
Well, what you do, you take the cuttings and you end up with that, and that's your plant.
So you pull out the old one with the old wood?
Yeah, but this is going to grow shoot again, and it's going to be low enough that you're going to get a bigger bush, but you're not going to get that much less that's going to be there,
Yep.
all right, in old wood. So
If you've
instead
got
of
a
it
bush
being
that's full
up
of
here
old
with
wood.
old wood, it's going to be down here with old wood.
Yeah. If you've got a bush that's this high with old wood,
Yeah, you've got to start again.
go start again. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So do you trim them once a year or twice
Yeah.
a year to make them nice?
There's only 2 months of the year you prune these guys, right? The Regals.
March, April.
Yeah, March, April.
March, April.
All right. I don't do mine until April, for convenience sake more than anything. But I do mine in April. But
And you keep them nice and bushy and round. And
You'll-
not like leggy.
yes,
Okay.
the ones that saw the Regals I had in the garden, when you come up home, I had some Regals down the bottom by the igloos. The sheep have eaten them. Oh, they grew monsters. They actually grew such monsters, and I said to Ron, I'm not going to prune them. I said, I'll just plant some more little ones in there till they do it again, you know. And he says, well, what am I going to do with them? I said, feed them to the sheep, so he did.
Still got Henry Joyce?
Henry,
Still got Henry?
I got
Yes, Robin just has a question for you, Joyce.
You know how much, oh no, you got some very long, like that. How long a cutting do you do for those? A little one.
3 to 4 inches, 4 inches at the most. That one's about 3 inches. That's a perfect cutting. No more than 4 inches.
Okay, thank you very much, Joyce.